Welcome back. Where we left off the previous video is we added a countertop and we added a sink. Okay, those were on top of our base cabinets. And now we're going to add in some upper cabinets. So typically we would go to component and we would select from the list of available items. Unfortunately, what isn't in this list already is upper cabinets. So we'll have to go ahead and load those ourselves. I'll just get out of the command. I'm going to Control Z that sink out of there. And we're going to go to Insert. And this button here is Load Family. This allows us to load some different items that we don't have available to us in the model. Where you might typically end up when you click this button is here in the Canada folder. Okay, we are working in US Imperial. It has more options, and because we are working in feet and inches, that is the better spot to look. So if we click Load Family, we ended up in the Canada folder. We'll just level up and we'll select US Imperial. And we're going to find cabinets under casework. Okay, casework's just a word that means cabinets, boxes, things like that. We want to use wall cabinets. Okay, so these are mounted to the wall. So these are the ones we want. And for this kitchen that we're looking at, we're going to select a double door wall cabinet. You get a little preview here. It gives you an idea of what you're using. So we're going to open that and have that ready to go. Okay. While we're doing this, we're going to load in a single door cabinet because I happen to know that we're going to need one or two of these as well. Okay. So we'll click that, open, that loads. And now when we go back to our architecture tab and we choose a component, it goes to that family that we've loaded in. And what's cool here is we can see that not only did it just load in one type of single door wall mounted cabinet, I got a whole series of options. Okay, so I've got some different widths, and these are the widths of the cabinets available to me. So I can select what's appropriate for my kitchen design. If I scroll up a little more, I've got the double door wall cabinets. And I am going to use the 27-inch wide wall cabinet, and I have got a spot in mind, which is between the range and my window. So remember, you don't want your cabinetry to cover up your window or to interfere with your refrigerator, because the refrigerator is tall. All right. If my cabinet was over here, that's an interference. It's not going to work. So I need to select the right width that fits between my window and my fridge. Okay. So the 27 happened to work out nicely. I can place that in there. If I want to change the positioning, I can click on the temporary dimensions and move it left or right that way. Next, we're going to hit escape, and we want a cabinet here between the window and the range, and then we want another single door cabinet over to the right of the range. Now above the range, we want a double door cabinet, and we want one that's going to be the exact same width as our range. I happen to know that the range is 30 inches wide, so I am going to go here to my drop down list. I'm going to go for the 30-incher, and I could just place that above the stove. Simple. But there's one catch here in that we want to have a cabinet above our stove that's not as tall as our other wall mounted cabinets. When you think about a stove or the stoves you've seen in a home or your home, typically the cabinets above the stove are a little shorter, okay, because we want to fit a range hood above our stove, our oven, to evacuate fumes from when we're cooking. So we need a shorter cabinet to do that. The way we can do that is we can customize this 30-inch one that we already have. So if I go to Edit Type, I can click this button, duplicate, so it'll make another version of the 30-inch wide cabinet. And I'm going to call this 30-inch short, okay, because it's not as tall. We'll click OK. And in the dimensions field, we want to adjust the height of this. Right now it's 2 foot 6 inches. We're going to take a foot off of that. So we're going to go to 1 foot 6 inches. So I can type in 1 space 6. That defaults to 1 foot 6 inches. I'm going to click OK. So now you'll see this is updated. It says I've got the 30-inch short. And with that done, I can place that cabinet. I'm going to hit escape a couple times so I can get right in close and make sure this cabinet's where I want it to be. Now, if I zoom in and I look, I can see the edge of my cabinet on the right doesn't quite line up with over my stove. So I'm going to go to the move tool. And I get this cabinet right in the top right corner. And I'm going to align that with my stove. Okay. Once that's done, we're going to go back and we're going to put in some single door cabinets on the left and another one on the right. And that should finish off this wall with cabinetry. So the one I know is going to fit is down in the list. We're going to go to single door wall mounted cabinets, and we're going to grab the 18-inch version. And we are going to place that first. What did I forget? I forgot to click on component. Okay. Make sure you do that. Click on component in order to insert a component into your model. So the 18 inches is the one I want. Notice when I'm over here hovering above the sink in space, I got the no-go symbol. Because these are wall mounted, it's only going to preview the cabinet for you when you get touching a wall. Okay, so I'm going to place one here, and I am going to place one here. Okay, we'll hit escape. A couple things we need to do here. One, I inadvertently changed this cabinet over to a different style, so I am going to click on it. I'm going to go to my drop down again, and I am going to go up to the double door cabinets, and I want to find the 30-inch short that I made. Reconfigure that. We're going to click over here to get away from things. And this cabinet, I want to have it butt up exactly right beside my 30-inch short cabinet. So I'm going to use the move tool. And I'm going to zoom in. And we've got our cabinet here. We're going to pull it over. And we'll do the same thing over on the right. Use the move tool. Click in the top left. Move that over. We'll try that again. Move that cabinet over. Hit escape to get out of things and take a look at your 3D view. Always best practice. See what you did. Okay, so if we zoom in here, you can see we've got our short cabinet centered directly above the stove. We've got our double cabinet on the left-hand side of the window, and then two 18-inch cabinets on either side of that short 30-incher. Okay, so that's that video on upper wall cabinets, and we'll see you in the next video.